All right, so hi everyone. Thank you very much for coming in such a big number. Um, when I was preparing for the presentation from, how to talk and everything, so what I heard is, if you are stressed, don't think about that you are stressed, think about that you are excited. So I hadn't been so excited, for a long time. So thank you very much once again for coming. And the reason I wanted to talk about security is because we come across day after day, you know, on websites that are with malware, basically, or that they are hacked. So I thought, there are security talks on every WordCamp, and I wanted to raise awareness about, the practices that will keep you sleep tight at night. That you will be safer. But it has to start somewhere, and that somewhere is at the beginning. So that I want to raise awareness about being more proactive in protecting your website, not only building the website and that's it, but rather what can you do to make your website protected and safe. Uh, there is saying that there are only two kinds of people. They are those that are doing backups and those who will be doing backups. So I think this is similar situation with security, and it works. It doesn't work. Oh yeah, this works. So short info about me: I'm ex-iOS developer running an agency now. So there is like a bit of a transition. We are on the market for 12 years, and I have also a podcast, and after hours I run, read books, and my recent passion is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I saw a gentleman here with a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu hoodie, so I have to find that person to talk. What we will talk about today is intro, that's done. We will talk about a little bit motives for hacking. So you have a, why would anyone want to hack your website? So we will talk about those motives a little bit. Um, we will also talk about some infections that I can share with you. What are the sources for those attacks? What are the reasons it is even possible? We will talk about also what are those practices that I mentioned. A little bit about OWASP and what is it, and we will recap. So what are the motives for hacking? And before we start, I would like you to raise hand. Uh, please raise hand if you have ever been hacked for or your laptop or your website. So I'm very curious. Uh, all right, so it's like 50% of the room, which is a little bit scary. So the other ones who didn't raise hand, you are probably in the queue or maybe not. um, All right, so let's talk about motives for hacking. So obviously that's financial gain. This is data theft, and data is money. So you can also merge those two with you can sell the data later on. Malware distribution, because you have to have that network that can deploy malware to your website that will you know make the website infected, but also the compute power to do these things. Hacktivism. So you don't like someone, so you will hack their website. Cyber warfare, and this is very prominent when war in Ukraine started. You could see anonymous group hacking this government website, that government website. So this is also falling into hacktivism, but also cyber warfare a little bit, and governments doing this with famous plants in Iran breaking because of the hacks on hardware on plants. Reputation and challenge. I can do this, so I will. And espionage. This is not probably applicable to our case. And personal vendettas. Please be kind to your colleagues. Um, Now, let's talk about first four, because other ones are not very applicable probably to our group. Um, let's talk about financial gain, data theft, and malware distribution. What are the ways you can gain you can gain financially from attacking a website? First group that is most, let's say, on the spot are all of the e-commerce platforms, because there is money going through the e-commerce platform. There is a lot of AdWords that are driving traffic. So there are a lot of customers on those websites, and wherever there is money involved, this is like a honeypot. So you can think about credit card skimming, and these kinds of hackers group are called in as a group MageCard. So it comes from Magento. Um, this was originally initiated through Magento and is like spreading to another e-commerce platform. So this software that lets you hijack credit card number, and then you can either sell those credit card numbers, or you can use them to, to do this on your own. Also ad fraud, which means you have ads for stuff that is, scam, and then that financial gain is coming from the scam product that you purchase. So in fact, the website puts some fake banners, and someone is buying, US visas, and you gain financially. Cryptojacking, so injecting, for example, JavaScript miners on your website. So whenever someone enters your website, JavaScript code runs on your laptop, your CPU goes bzzzt, and you are mining Bitcoin for someone or any other currency. So it's like offloading compute power to your local machine so that someone is benefiting from that. It's like distributed network through those machines, and this is not infection of your laptop. It's just you are renting your CPU for someone else's benefit. Phishing campaigns, which means you can share data that will be used later on to hack you. Banking is very prominent example in this, but it doesn't mean if you enter a website, regular WordPress website, company website, you can be presented phishing page, or your website can be a source, like a hosting for those pages to be presented somewhere else. So again, it's like overtaking infrastructure for how to put it, like for other benefits, like for example displaying those phishing pages. Fake product listings, so again you are buying something that will never arrive. SEO spam, when you are infected, for example, there are links and backlinks directing to other websites, and you are losing your reputation for someone else gain reputation of your website. So if you have high ranking, good reputation of the website, that is stolen from you, you will lose your reputation, and someone else will do this. It's like, black SEO, but even more black than regular black SEO. Payment gateway manipulation. So you can be hacked, and the details for the money can be offloaded to someone else. So it's not only like a credit card theft. The payment can be manipulated, even if it is a bank transfer, to arrive somewhere else, not to the recipient you are thinking will get that, but to someone else, in a hacker in this way, in this. Cookie stuffing, and this is interesting because if you, it's very common as SEO manipulation. When the website is hacked, you click a link, and then there's like 6-7 pages opened in a cascade, and every load creates a cookie, and those cookies are valuable for hackers or bad people because they can be assigned to a purchase or affiliation or whatever. So there is some benefit in doing this, because with a mass scale you gain massively in this kind of activities. Exploits. So this is again gaining a network of infected machines, which host malicious code that can be then later sent or injected somewhere. So this is part of the automation when bots are scanning the websites, find vulnerabilities, and the code has to be deployed from somewhere. So the infection has to be, it's associated with a code, and this is like hosting of code that is injected into a website. Now, I will show a couple of examples of websites that we came across, and when taking over of websites of our clients. And first case, it's a big government organization. This is very big government organization. And the situation we had with them is that they were infected at some point. They have 15 websites. So that organization has 15 different websites for different departments or different initiatives. And they were all hosted on AWS Lightsail server, which is important because Lightsail in their configuration didn't have any separation between those websites. What happens is if you have a website on a server that has no separation between those websites, if you have more than one, you will have to clean all of them. So it's like you have a basket of eggs and you lose that basket and all of the eggs are cracked. So how was it possible? There was no separation of domains of websites. We don't know what was the original attack vector, but within 15 WordPress websites, none of them being updated on a regular basis, done by myriads of agencies across the years, there's like no way of knowing who is the culprit, right? But at the end of the day, we have to manage the mess. And what's interesting also is that they were not infected to gain financially. The websites got deleted over and over. So the website went down. There's no website. Okay, what do? We restore from backup, right? And we cleaned all of those websites manually. It's a pain. It's a huge pain to to clean them if they are different versions. There is the big chaos there, and we scanned them with 2 scanners, we put them back, and they got infected again. So we clearly either missed something, or there is the hole is deeper down on the WordPress, let's say, level, or there is something very custom on one of those 15 websites that lets those attackers enter, or someone at the government organization is hacked, and hackers know their login details and go as admins over and over again, even though we, for example, changed password. So what are we doing right now is we are moving them to a server with a domain separation, so that we can pinpoint which website is letting the hackers into their premises, let's say, into the server, so that we can find the root cause for that. No other way around this. Below, you can see a code that is, if you see something like this, this is certainly malicious, because it goes to the top of the server infrastructure and searches for index and wp-config files, so that you can get access to to the settings of WordPress website, and you can infect that other websites, right? So you crawl all of the folder tree being in one website, looking for other websites, right? So you have a look like a helicopter view on the whole website structure. Case number 2, it's an e-commerce platform. We are taking over that e-commerce platform. Update policies on demand, which is very rising an alarm, but we can't do anything about it. It's client decision, and we are in a situation when the last update was done 4 months ago, and what happens? How did that infection started? There is a vulnerable plugin installed in this website. WordPress and PatchStack releases a memo on their website that there is a vulnerability in that plugin, and this is fixed. So, dear WordPress community, please update your vulnerable plugin. This is a patch, or this is fixed. Please do this. What happens? 3 days later, the website got infected through that exact plugin. Now, is the patch stack or WordPress to blame? Obviously not. The way they do this is they contact privately the plugin makers. They say to them, there is a vulnerability, you have to fix it, we are waiting for you to fix. plugin maker fixed the plugin. It's officially available for updates. It's available for auto updates as well. So WordPress and Patchstack are releasing the memo so that everyone goes and updates the plugin. Now, if the client doesn't update and hackers know about this, you can make a diff on the code. You know exactly where is the problem and you know how to hack that website, right? So it's like a double-edged sword. All of those security updates are double-edged sword because you know then how to hack a website on that version, right? So you have to be aware that you have to be updating the plugins as soon as possible before those releases um, are released, because otherwise it's like alarm on a loudspeaker. You know, there is a bug, right? There is a bug. What happened also that went unnoticed is that nothing happened. The hacker got access to the website and created WordPress admin user, which is most funny because WordPress is a very known word in WordPress world and can get unnoticed. We have cleaned the code and the client decided to do updates more often on a regular basis. Oh, sorry, this is old presentation, or I didn't update the title, sorry. So another example is very interesting because this is a little bit different. This is also very known brand and they are on a VPS server. So again, a lot of you can do if you get access. The website gets very, there is a lot of pop-ups with those visas, for example, buy US visa for, I don't know, $150, right? It's a scam for sure. And it's a big website, rather old, a lot of custom code. And what hacker gained is they added SSH keys to the server. So they had open connections to the bare metal machine, right? They could do everything with the website. They had a cron job that was adding code. If the code was removed, it was added through a regular cron job, and they had also admin users. So there were like many open vectors of attack for that particular website. If the website is clean, then there is SSH connection. If this doesn't happen, then there is cron job fixing that. So on and on. And we cleaned the code. We have reset the passwords for all of the users. We have removed all accounts from the organization. We even switched the platform because we were thinking maybe it was like a sloppy server hosting company. We switched to dedicated WordPress platform, and there was a comeback, right? So what happened? We did everything, and there is a comeback, right? What happened? There was a custom code written for a special functionality that was taking user input which was unsanitized. And it was clear SQL injection, and the end of the day, that was allowing the hacker to get in a fourth way back to the server. What are the sources of those attacks? Now, Patchstack published a big report on 2023, and they are saying that 97% of all vulnerabilities are coming from plugins. Now, there is also Thomas Reeve, who also published a 2023 report saying that stolen session cookies were root cause for 60% of attacks or incidents. Now, what does it tell you exactly? Should you patch the plugins? Should you do the updates? Why? Because there is still 60% of the attacks that will happen through stolen sessions. Is it the same thing? It's not. So is 40% of non-stolen session incidents, out of which 97% were attacks through plugins? Not necessarily. What Patchstack reports are the holes. So holes happen in the plugins. But does this mean all of the attacks are coming through those holes? No. I was in shock when I was reading this, and that report on stolen session cookies was, I think it's like from 2 months ago. So what happens is that both are true. patch stack reports, it's like this guy sitting on a goal in that safe and doesn't see the safe is taken out of the building with him inside, right? Patch stack analyzes the source code and reports on the source code. What patch stack doesn't have access to is the numbers of incidents, because if you have access to the server, you can manipulate the data, and WordPress or patch stack doesn't see this. What Thomas Reef is reporting is based on the outcomes, on the incidents, on the hacks, because he has a company called We Watch Your Website, and they are running code on the server level, monitoring the website. So they see logs, and they are reporting based on that. And what happens is they are seeing a lot of logs with the data with a login details. So those login details are coming from those machines. So what you can do is protect your sessions. If you are an admin, what you can do is to log out from admin session as often as possible. If there is no session, there is no hijacking. Now, if you are if your sessions are leaked, it means maybe you have a info stealer or malware on your computer. So the first thing you should be protecting is your own premise. Your laptop, not using open networks, basic stuff, the stuff that we are telling our grandmothers, grandfathers, mothers, fathers, and so on, that you should be protecting your own PCs. So this is very important, because this is not on our radar as developers, that okay, we have to protect the websites, we have to, sanitize SQLs and everything, but then you have your own PCs, and if someone gets access to your computer as a developer, there is a high chance there is number of websites, not only one website, but there are tons of websites we've been building for our clients, for example, and we have all of those websites logged in as admins because we were developing those websites, right? So this is very overlooked thing, that we have to protect our own first. Like in an airplane, you have to protect our own, you put on mask first and then on your child, because someone has to take care of the child later on. How to prevent that and what to do, because I have covered your own computer, but can we just, not do anything about our websites, like plugins, don't update it? No, we can't, because this is so easy to get it infected. So you have to be protected, and that there was a case like patchstack reported that vulnerability, and our website was infected 3 days later. So if you don't update your plugins, it's guaranteed that you will get hacked, but it's not enough. That's why you have to protect your own environment too. Now, what to do to protect that website part? You have to update websites as often as possible, and maybe even turn on auto updates if they are not breaking your website, because there is between 0-day vulnerability and patch, there is a couple of days, and then when the release goes out, you have to be like already updated. You have to do backups as well, because at some point the infection was done, but you have to revert somewhere, and you have to do the updates on an external machine. Now, if you go to Google and Google Unisuper, you will see that 125 billion US dollars company got wiped out by accident on Google End, and this is from 2 weeks ago. $125 billion company got accidentally deleted from Google Cloud because of an error. Unheard of. And what the reason, it's an Australian pension fund. So grandmothers and grandparents, didn't have access for a week to their platform, to their banking platform. In fact, they had backup on an external with an external provider. It took 7 days to restore from an external provider, even though they were based on 2 separate locations. I have to run. You have to protect your accounts. Now, you can't use shared accounts, because if someone gets infected, you don't know who that was, and this is very common. What else is very important? Protecting REST API. This is a real use case. Go to JSON API and test a couple of your clients' websites, because there are usernames. Most of the time, they are usernames leaking. And if there is an admin, that's probably really an admin. And also the login screen, if it confirms the username, it's not a bad practice. There is zero reason someone should know that there is an admin account and that this admin account is a correct admin name. How to treat your passwords, like Snowden on that famous movie, typing the password. No one could see the password. Now you can discuss if it is really impossible to see the password, because there are some techniques I heard that it's possible to read that password. And OWASP. OWASP is a good starting point for you to have like a helicopter view to know what's going on. There is 2017 and 2021 version. There is an update coming in 2024, so it will get updated. But I wanted to tell you what is OWASP, and OWASP is the 10 most common areas that are problematic, and from where they are, the problems in security are coming. Let's take insecure design, and if you go to OWASP page and go, for example, to insecure design, there are an examples that will explain how you can think about that bad design on secure design. And for example, you can have a design in which you restore password by questions and answers. And this is forbidden practice from OWASP perspective. And guess what? Do you know any most famous questions and answers password recovery website? Google's. So if you are on iCloud, there is that answers you can give to restore your password, which is forbidden by OWASP. There is there are also other examples. I have to run now, sorry. And even OWASP is not can get hacked, and it was published on 1st of April, and this is no joke. They got hacked on their old wiki page, which also stored OWASP contributors' personal data. It's, GDPR breach. We are in Europe, and this is a problem because they got hacked, and they had to, and they are security people, so everyone at some point will get hacked. To recap, your website is always a target. If you are asking why should anyone hack my website, you should be asking why anyone shouldn't be hacking your website. You are certainly on a target. You are a target because you have compute power to be taken advantage of, and this is all automated, so there is no human going most of the time after you. You have to be doing updates as often as possible, and there are certain measures I covered that you should be protecting yourself and your own machine. And if you want to start somewhere, start at OWASP to get some kind of footing about what is security in your own environment, let's say. Thank you very much. There is a survey. You can scan the code. There are 3 questions. Please roast me. I would like to hear your feedback. Yeah.